Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, Rigathi Gachagua has been assigned by William Samoei Ruto to lead the reforms in tea, coffee, and milk sector in this country, a place where you used to talk about a guaranteed minimum return. And of course, yesterday, Gachagua had a meeting with the agencies from KTDA, and after that meeting, this is what I posted there. Monday, 16th January 2023. Today at the Harambee House Annex, I held consultation with the Kenya Tea Development Agency KTDA board leader led by the chairman, Mr. David Muni Ichoho, and the group MD and the CEO, Mr. Wilson Mudaura, on improving earnings for small-scale farmers. We discussed and agreed on a strategy of ensuring the small-scale tea farmers reap more benefit from the cash crop, especially by eliminating cartels. We have created a caucus to guide on how best to unchain the smallhold tea farmer from the grip of cartels. Spearheading the reforms in tea, coffee, and milk subsector has commenced in earnest as directed by His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto. It's a long post, so let us just stop from there. Now, after that meeting, Wahome Thuku went on to react, and in his response, this is what Wahome Thuku posted. And actually, this is just meant to describe or define who Rigathi Gachagua has. I will sound hateful, but I don't care as long as I speak the hard truth. I can swear he has zero knowledge about tea issue in Kericho, Kisii, Nandi, etc. His knowledge of tea farming and the tea problem is confined to Ragati Tea Factory in Karatina. Ukweli ni huo. This is a man from Mount Kenya region where Rigathi Gachagua is coming from, confirming what we have always said on this punchline. I can side with Wahome Thuku anytime when it comes to what he's talking about. I'm saying this because during the campaign time and even after the election, Rigathi Gachagua has always come out as a regional leader. Every time when he's in Mount Kenya and anywhere he has had to be, he has always talked about defending the people of Mount Kenya region when it comes to guaranteed minimum return in coffee, guaranteed minimum return on tea farming, guaranteed minimum return in milk. Every time we talk about watu wa mlima, majani chai, lazima tujue kahawa yetu. And even he will always talk about, tutaambia president about our tea, our coffee, our milk. Watu wa mlima. Does Gachagua know that there is tea farming even in the western region? Vihiga County, they are doing tea farming, the entire county. You go to part of Kakamega, somewhere in Ikolomani, where Boni Halwale is coming from, they do tea farming. So we are not only doing cane farming, we also do tea. Is he aware of that? Then those other areas Wahome Thuku is mentioning out. When Gachagua talk about guaranteed minimum return in tea, he is specific Mount Kenya. So the question is, will he deliver when it comes to the issue of tea farming in this country? Or his issue will be revolving around Mount Kenya region? Does he know that Rift Valley is doing tea farming in large scale? It seems like he's not aware of that. Because now the meeting he was hosting today, it was just all about tea farming, not anything else. Though we understand the issue of coffee will come in, the issue of milk will come in. Serious question that we were asking even during the campaign, and I'm still asking today, which Gachagua need to answer. Why is it that in as much tea farmers are complaining up to date, why is it that there is difference in price of tea per kilo in Western region and Mount Kenya? We understand there is grading of this tea. Same grade when you do the grading, because they pick, there is leaf they pick, there is that needle na jani moja ama the needle itself. They do that grading. Why is it that you have same grade, different price in Western and in Mount Kenya region? Why is it that a farmer who is doing tea farming in Mount Kenya earn more in a kilo of tea leaves, and yet a same farmer in Western region earn low? If you compare, in Western it is attracting little amount. Mount Kenya they earn a little bit fair, better, but same grade. Why? You should answer that question before you talk about the other cartels who are in that industry. So if this is the man who is in the office, will he try to answer that question? I'm talking about Western because I come from Western, and this is Napanda Majan. And I know what I'm saying. I don't know these other areas, but I know they are doing the same, they are farming. But what I know, Mount Kenya is earning fair better compared to what Western region is earning. Tuko na Mdeta Tea Factory hapa, hii yenye ilijengwa na huyo baba ya Musalia Mudavadi. Iko hapa Mdeta. We understand how farmers have been suffering. So the person who is in charge is Rigathi Gachagua. I agree with the Wahome Thuku. He will never solve that problem. There will never be that equality when it comes to that sector. He will never bring the reform that William Ruto is looking into if really Gachagua is going to lead that sector. Unless, if they will concentrate on the people in those areas, maybe those people who have the proper knowledge, we can talk about the professionals in that area. If Gachagua will really listen to them, because Gachagua is proving to be a man who don't take advice. How can he lead reforms when he's not ready to take the advice? How will he take care of the interest of the people of Kisii who are doing tea farming? What about Kericho? What about those other areas who are doing tea farming in this country? When his mind is all about watu wa mlima, majani chai yetu, sukari, not sukari, coffee yetu, anasema maziwa yetu. Rift Valley, they are doing well when it comes to milk. We have people who are in that business, but he will never talk about farmers in Kenya. He is very specific every time. Farmers in Mount Kenya region. And I saw a very interesting comment on Wahome Thuku's post. This is what Derek Bondok said, but seems Rigathi think in Kikuyu first, then translate. That's why he bluntly say his work is to fight the Mulima, forgetting his deputy of Kenya. Look at that. First of all, he think in Kikuyu, then translate. That tells you that we have a wrong person in the office, and even the real reform that Ruto is looking into, Gachagua will never deliver that. Another person, Muzalendo Njeru. Huyu anatoka Mlima. As a former powerful DO during Koigi regime, Rigathi duty should have revolved around peacekeeping in Meru, Isiolo border, disarming of Pokot and Samburu cattle rustlers, and reforestation of Mau and other forests in the country. Actually, Gachagua kwa sababu alikuwa dio, angesaidia tu Ruto kwa mambo ya kufanya hii maneno mengine hii ya amani. Amani in terms of those areas where we have bandits. I agree totally with this guy. But this other issue of reforms in farming, we have a wrong person in office. Kipgenthi, AK. Ruto is smart. He knows very well that Rigathi is too local and can't think beyond the choir women. He's giving him hard task so as he fail and get embarrassed. Ruto is finishing Mount Kenya King Bean as he makes himself their kingpin. I agree. He really has a wrong person because instead of even Rigathi Gachagua solving the issues to do with the tea, you'll find him saying that I'm fighting Uhuru Kenyatta's cartels who have been in the tea sector. So his issue is to fight even Uhuru Kenyatta, not to bring those reforms he's talking about. Uhuru found cartels in the office. He failed to fight them. So it is not even Uhuru Kenyatta cartel. These are just cartels who have been there. And they will be here even in Uhuru Kenyatta's, William Ruto's government. So it's all about fighting Uhuru Kenyatta. Not really delivering to these people who are doing tea farming. So that's the kind of person we have here going forward. So for me, I believe Gachagua cannot deliver when it comes to fighting and bringing reforms in the entire country as far as tea farmers is concerned. Is a no-go zone. We have a wrong person who will think about Mount Kenya but not the entire country. That's Gachagua for you because that's how he talk. He talk as if he's a leader of Mount Kenya but not a deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. That's how we are going to view Rigathi Gachagua anywhere in this country.